Well. Another day, another dollar. I be at work on my lunch break, somewhat on my lunch break.
Admin, do you copy?
See? Still working. And the funny thing about it is, I do my job so well that I do have time to sit down and make these videos. But I am running out of, I'm not even running out of topics. I don't really be having the topic to talk about. In my head, I'll have these ideas like, you know what, I'm going to talk about this, I talk about that. But at the end of the day, it's just easier to do it like this. And I feel like it's more organic to talk about things that pop into my mind. Right now, the biggest thing that's popping into my head, or some recent news, is the riots that are happening in LA right now. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen what's going on. They're setting fire to the automated cars, the self-driving cars out there, and also they are destroying a lot of property and also police vehicles. Now that's typical of a riot. Civil unrest. People are going to do things to make their statement. I'm not a fan of any of it. I remember being in the LA riots back in 1990. Was it 1992, 1993? I remember being real young. And not even really understanding what was going on until I got older. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why everybody was running around like that. But yeah, a couple years ago there were more riots, the George Floyd riots that were occurring, and they were burning half the city down. And I don't get it. I don't get the ones that's going on right now. Actually, I don't really get majority of the riots that are going on because not a whole lot is being done. It's just a lot of destruction. It's just a lot of destruction. That's it. And now the only thing that does is get news coverage, and it gives something people can talk about. It gives you something people can talk about. But at the same time, is that helping pass any laws? Is that really doing anything but giving credence to the fact that, or not even giving credence to the fact, but kind of undermining what you're trying to do? So what's been set in place is the idea that there's a lot of foreign immigrants coming in from overseas, and these immigrants are bringing crime, just everything negative that you could think of. Not all of them, but there's a small, subgroup that are committing crimes when they come over because they see America as a free for all. And I'm not just talking about Mexico's, people at the southern border, but immigrants are coming over from all over the planet, and they are committing crimes. But a part of that is you're gonna prove that, or you're trying to justify yourself being here and demand that you want rights and that you're not out there committing crimes when you're out there committing crimes. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that it's necessarily right. I mean, everybody's setting buildings on fire, that doesn't make it right. Everybody's looting businesses, that doesn't make it right. It's like a group dynamic that's occurring right now, and it's making everything. It's basically making everything okay, but that's not going to help your case in the long run. I mean, you're going out there waving flags for another country that you came from because the conditions are horrible, and you're setting the American flag on fire, but demanding to be treated as a citizen of America. I don't get it. It defeats the purpose. That's what I'm trying to say. It defeats the purpose of what you're doing. And as an American, if I were to go to any other country and do exactly what's happening right now, waving my flag around and setting the flag on fire of the country that I'm currently residing, I don't think it would go over too well at all. I might not make it back. There wouldn't be any story. There wouldn't be any news coverage. It'd just be, I would be taken care of. I try to pull that in somewhere like Kuwait, or try to, feel like you can wave an American flag in, the Middle East and set their flag on fire. Well, what's going to happen to you? So you're flexing your rights to do what you can over here, and that's fine. But at the same time, that same place that gave you your rights, you're also disregarding. You're making it seem like you're being treated like a demon when you're actually acting like one. Anyway, I say that to say this. this goes for anybody that immigrates, not immigrates, immigrates. Leaving you're leaving the country. When you immigrate is when you come to a country. For anybody who decides to leave or expat, or whatever the hell you want to call it, there are certain things that you relinquish once you cross these international borders. And one of those things in my head is the customs and everything that comes along with the country that you came from. A lot of that shouldn't carry over. Like I can't go to another country and expecting people to treat me like they do in America. That's not the case. Only here are you free to do that. But many people are taking advantage of it. I used to feel the same way towards America when I was younger, because I was led to believe that America was the one that was oppressing me and my people. When I keep coming back to the same case where America's not oppressing us at this point anymore. Only people that are oppressing us is ourselves. If you go to the inner city and almost any city in America, you won't find banks. You'll find check cashing places. Who did that? We did that to ourselves. Nobody opens banks in the hood. Only people people don't open banks in the hoods. What they do is they open check cashing places where you can go cash your check same day, and they get a piece of it. Like to me, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. Just so you can get your cash like that, and you don't trust banks, you're gonna go to this check cashing place where they can give you your money, take a percentage of it. I don't get it. Um, Liquor stores open up in every hood, and we're not the ones that own them. I'm okay with liquor stores and things of that nature, but why don't we own any of the liquor stores in the hood? Because we make ourselves a commodity. We don't want to open up businesses. We rather give them our money. When I think about all the money that's in the black community, whether I'm talking about the higher ups. I mean the celebrities, the athletes, the entertainers, all those guys. You tell me they can't pull their resources together and start to fund something real? There's a small handful of them that are doing things for people in the inner city, people who do feel like they're oppressed, people who do come from weird environments. I don't know how to help them. I know where I stand on the matter. I just refuse to be a victim altogether. If something doesn't go my way, I just got to find another way to go about it. I can't trust people that don't have my best interest to help me out. I got in a conversation with my dad the other day about the NBA and how the NBA is close to 80% black, but the execs, there's only 15% of them, or was it 15? I think only 15% of them are actually black. And I don't have a problem with that. The reason why I don't is because, for one, it's hard to get into that circle. And these guys that are in that circle have known each other for years, probably since college. Their dads were probably friends. They go to the same um, clubs. They go to the same. They play golf together. They go to the same yacht parties. Like their kids go to the same school. Like this is a group thing. But we automatically assume that it's racism because they omit us. Like no, that's their group, and people are going to always hire within their group before they go outside of their group. I don't think that's racist. It's just how it is. If you really want to have more black execs, then start your own. If 70% of the NBA is black, you're telling me that you can't start a black owned uh, business like the NBA? You can't start your own basketball league? All you gotta do is tell the players to come over here. Now there's going to be a huge disparity on how much money the players are making, obviously when it first starts, but you can always boycott the NBA. I'm just spitballing. I'm just giving ideas. You're really upset about that, and you want to start your own NBA. Boycott this one. Stop playing in the games. Your contract, okay. What are they gonna do? Take their money back? How far are you willing to go for the cause of helping your own people before you start asking people that don't look like you for help? And that's all it really comes down to. I understand it. You know, you need $50 million to take care of you and your family. It makes sense. It makes sense that you need $50 million to house you and your wife and your two kids. But is there anything else you can do with that money? I give away money, and I don't make that much at all. I work at a school. My people just need to stop being victims. I guess the situation sucks, but what are you gonna do? Fall into that situation, become that situation. I used to watch a lot of what's that show called? Intervention. And everybody on Intervention, they have the same pattern. They have something happen to them. And I'm not taking nothing away. Like this shit sucks. You know, a lot of those stories suck. But the thing about it is, and this goes for any situation, the small all the way to the biggest. You know, obviously the bigger situations are way harder to get over, but there has to be steps taken in order to get over these things so you don't become the thing that happened to you. Otherwise, you will become that thing that will be what you represent, and you will keep yourself in a perpetual state of being that victim. I don't want anybody to be a victim, even if they are. Because a lot of times you slowly die on the inside because these things are hard to get over. These things are hard to get past. These things are hard to accept. I started making strides in my own life when I decided to take accountability for the things that were in my control and things that are out of my control. There's plenty of things that happened to me in my life that I could have avoided if I would have just been less curious, been less impulsive, and just not put myself in a situation for me to become that victim. I can't speak for all situations, but there're just certain times where you have to avoid situations that would allow the opportunity of something happening to you. You know, you live in the inner city and you feel like you got to carry a gun. Okay, there's two ways that this could end up. You could come across somebody who tries to rob you, and you have a gun and you protect yourself, and unfortunately, you might end up in jail because they're saying that it was whatever reason. Or you can have a gun and get pulled over by the police, and they say you have an unregistered firearm and go to jail. Um, you could have a gun on you with the intention on not using it, but there's a level of ambiguity that life kind of bring towards you, and you might end up using that gun in a way that you didn't anticipate yourself doing, whipping out on somebody, um, robbing somebody, not even going out with the intent on doing it, but just you have the ability to do it, and you put yourself in a situation. Or you can just avoid having the gun altogether and remove yourself from all of those situations as best you could. Like I said, it's not a foolproof thing, but you really got to look at situations as a whole. I got so many stories that people then told me, like, man, you know, I knew I shouldn't have did this, or I knew I shouldn't have did that. I knew I shouldn't have been there. Like, we know these things. It's like we see it happen, but we're like, we disregard it. I don't even know where this video is going. I'm just ranting. This is why I don't even know how long this video has been, how long this video has been recording. But anyway, I don't know. That's my video for today. I have been procrastinating on having a topic set up, and instead I just turn the camera on and start talking. I'll have ideas, but then I don't follow through with those ideas. That's annoying. I was supposed to put this video out yesterday, or a video out yesterday. I keep saying it'll get better, and it will. As long as I keep doing videos, no matter how much they might suck, no matter how unformatted they might be, I'll get it done. I know that for a fact. But that's just my take on it. If you have any suggestions or anything, just even say anything. I don't care. I like talking. This is just my thoughts bubbling up and manifesting themselves as words. So it sounds better in my head than it does coming out. But yeah.